Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't agree with me.
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is Tales from the Loop. To learn how we played Tales from the Loop, go check out our Tales from the Loop game primer. So this is a game ostensibly based on some illustrations. The premise is that it's the 80s with a technological anachronism. Like there's tech that exists outside of the 80s, but everything else is pretty much the 80s. So they still have cassettes and early CD players and Betamaxes and no cell phones, but they might have like robot janitors and like their parents may operate on mechs as a day job, but that's just commonplace. That's the background of their world. And otherwise it's a very Stranger Things meets E.T.
Super 8.
Home by Dark, if we to go by another RPG reference, all in that world. Our humble players, myself, John Holt, with me,
Ken Breeze.
and we've got two guests today.
That's right. Stuart Wellington of the Flophouse Podcast.
And Dan McCoy, also of the Flophouse Podcast.
We managed to lock in RPG fiend Dan McCoy.
Yeah,
That's right.
RP Jesus, as we call him, for just in time for Christmas.
Oh, boy.
So you
This
guys,
is a disaster waiting to happen.
you guys have the Flophouse podcast,
Uh-huh.
and occasionally you are on the Max Fun Network, so you'll jump into the adventures.
We're all the time on the Max Fun Network.
That's right.
And we have occasionally taken up the heavy burden of the Adventure Zone podcast.
All right, and you DM that.
I DM it. Dan is a player. I'm a longtime fan of RPGs, and when the opportunity came up to do a switcheroo with those guys, I jumped at the chance to convince my three friends who are basically never role players to play a game of Dungeons and Dragons with me.
All right.
To, let's say, mixed results.
All right. So Tales from the Loop, we're going to get into the mix on this. First thing we're going to do is build our characters. So we've all chosen types
Mm-hmm.
and ages. I'm sort of dictating ages at like 8th grade. So 13, 14, or a Doogie Howser at 12. All right. So I'll go through the town, then we'll go through everyone's characters, and then we'll talk relationships. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the town of Lenox Loop, 1986. Pittsfield, Mass., the Berkshire Mountains on the border of New York and western Massachusetts. In the 40s, GE was contracted by the government to supply parts and electrical equipment to the war effort. GE paired with MIT and the Federal Research Facility to carve a particle accelerator in the Berkshires around that same time and created Lenox Labs just south of Pittsfield. The cooling towers extend up out of the mountains further south in Lenox, and you can see them when you're up on Bousquet Ridge. To the south, a mile or two south of Pittsfield on Highway 20, is a turnoff to Bousquet Mountain, a ski area. A bit further south are those cooling towers and a subsurface lab. Starting in the 80s, the demand for transformers has dwindled, and GE has been ratcheting down production. So there have been some pretty extensive layoffs. Scientists and their families tend to be settled in South Pittsfield and in Lenox, and there's sort of a side eye that they're given by the blue-collar workers in Pittsfield, who have been working at the plant for generations. So you live in a small, spread-out development south of Pittsfield. There's a mix of Loop and GE factory families, as well as a smattering of people that perform seasonal work at the ski lodge and related things. And you're all students at Theodore Herberg Middle School. The past few years have been unseasonably warm. Some blame the factory output, some blame the thrumming cooling towers and the Lenox Loop. Whatever the case, the ski season has been hit pretty hard, and the area has just been further depressed. So they've done fake snow as they could, but the seasons have been pretty light to no snow for the past few years. And that is the world that you live in. So let's start with you, Stuart. Who are you? What is your character's name?
My name is Chad Dawson. I'm 14 years old. I come from money. I have an older sister, Clarissa, who has explained it all to me. my older sister Clarissa, who I look up to quite a bit. What might be a suitable line of work for I'm assuming it's my father is the one that has the good job.
It's up to you.
How about he owns the ski lodge?
All right.
Nice.
So it's Dawson's own the ski lodge.
Things at home have gotten worse as the ski seasons have gotten bad. And I found out my father's been secretly sneaking around behind my mom's back.
Bum, bum, bum.
And finding that out, it really messed with me. I'm a happy-go-lucky, class clowny type. I just hate secrets.
And what is your look? What do you look like, and what is your iconic?
My iconic style is I'm of average height, slightly chubby build. I have really great hair. I wear sunglasses, and I'm just a funny guy. I got a smile that lights up a room.
Yeah.
It's me, Chad Dawson.
Do you wear this tags from each year from the ski slope?
Oh,
kinda
that
switch
would
'em to
be
your jacket?
cool, right? If I was like way into skiing.
Yeah.
You would think
You're
that
like amazing at skiing.
I'm really good at skiing,
Yeah.
considering that I'm actually only in okay shape.
Yeah.
But that's, living high on the hog, the Dawsons. It's all my clothes are. I mean, I feel like all the popular kids, the like way to dress is in like ski stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or is that passé since that's what like the out of towners wear? I don't know. Yeah, I'll dress like that. That's
All
fine.
right. So, Dan,
Mm-hmm.
who are you? Who's your character?
Oh boy, my character is Ollie Barker. He's a bookworm.
Yeah, he is.
His mother is maybe a waitress at the ski lodge, but she's recently been left by the father, so he's being raised by a single mother.
What's your dad's name?
Jakota?
Yes.
Dakota Barker.
Not from around here.
No.
Possibly an alien.
What's your mom's name?
Let's say Lois.
Lois Barker. All right. Does she keep the dad's name, or did you guys take back her maiden name?
We're still the dad's name for insurance purposes.
The most exciting purposes.
Yeah.
What do you look like? What do you like to do?
He's kind of a skinny, like unmuscular kid with greasy hair and glasses. He clearly does not pay attention to what is popular in terms of fashion. He just wears what's given to him by his mother. I don't know what else to say about him.
Yeah.
He's
How old is he?
13.
All right, so he's a little bit younger. So he's dealing with his mother, kind of being single. Generally, like what is his iconic item? What is he kind of never without?
I decided he has a multi-tool that his dad
Nice.
gave him. One of the last things his dad gave to him because he likes to tinker with things, and so it's got like a pliers and a knife and a screwdriver and such.
Ken, tell me about your character.
I will. I'm playing Rush McKenzie. Rush is 13 years old. He is a really beefy kid. He's one of those kids whose head is a lot smaller than their body. Like, so he's got a buzzed head. He's got like no neck. He wears like overalls and like hiking boots and like flannels underneath his overalls. He's a very woodsy, of the earth, as it were, of the land type of guy. His mom died when he was real young, so he's raised by his dad. His dad's a seasonal worker who works at the ski lodge, one of the ways that he met Ollie and Chad. And his dad is like, oddly, his dad is like more sickly in the summer and more healthy in the winter. It's like this weird, almost like seasonal affect thing, but there's an odd physical component to it. And since the winters have been getting shorter and shorter, and the season has been getting shorter and shorter, his dad, Ram, R-A-M-M, Ram
That's
McKenzie.
pretty cool, yeah.
Ram McKenzie, he's sick, but he doesn't want to accept that about himself. So Rush is real worried about his dad. But Rush, like, because of just his mom passing away, and just sort of where he is in life, he is not high enough class to have families who work, or a family that works at the blue collar plant. He definitely isn't high class enough to have like money or anything like that. He's a really sort of working poor kid, and he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder about that, but mostly he has really buried his heart into this German shepherd that he always has with him named Hobo. So Hobo is the German shepherd, is almost sort of like the mascot for the gang, is always hanging out.
Do you have a shirt with a picture of a German Shepherd on it?
Yes, I do.
And it just says German Shepherd.
That's Rush for the most part. Rush is also really into like conspiracy theories and the idea that the world has a lot more to it than we can see. So he's into ghosts and he's into like weird superstitions, and he's totally believes that there's like weird shit out there.
Cryptids and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Cool. But he really loves to help people. His favorite song of the era is "Do Do Do Da Da Da."
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's by the Police. That's a good one. Check it out.
My favorite song is "Happy to Be Stuck with You."
And
What?
What's your favorite song?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Temptation by New Order.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, his family lives in a pretty shitty part of the housing development that they're all in.
All right. So let's start with you, Stuart. What's your relationship with Rush? How did Chad and Rush
Some people
know
call
one
me
another?
Spuds. Whatever. You take your pick.
Then I'll pick Spuds. Wait, Rush and Spuds. Sounds like two nicknames, but that's okay.
Rush is his real name. Spuds is his nickname, because he likes potatoes.
Mm-hmm. I like Spuds and Spuds likes me, but I feel like one of the main reasons I like Spuds is that he can do things for me. For one, he has a dog, which is awesome. My parents won't let me get a dog. On the other hand, I feel like you probably have found some of the cool hidden spots at the ski lodge that I might not have found because I don't go outside of the ski lodge as much. Maybe that's where you helped me find maybe that's where our hideout is. Who
Yeah,
knows?
exactly.
It's like an unused basement in the ski lodge.
Mm-hmm. Or even like some mine shaft or something, like some cave, like somewhere away.
That's certainly crazier and most likely to be haunted by miners' ghosts, but I think that's a good idea.
But I like the underground vibe. That works for me.
So that's your guys' relationship. What is your relationship to Chad?
I think my relationship with Chad is that
And you're like a big guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have a big guy
I
around.
think my relationship with Chad is how can I show Chad how I really feel about him? Like that I see him as like we should be blood brothers, like we should be super tight. But there's obviously something between us, our class, sort of our background, our circumstances.
A great divide, yeah.
As it were. That's sort of the vibe with Chad, is that I really want to show him how I really feel about him.
Ollie, what is your relationship with Chad?
Yeah, what do you think about Chad?
I think Chad is sort of aspirational for Ollie. Like, he looks up to him because the acceptance that he can get from other people. He notices is a sense of humor. That seems to be a thing that helps people like one another. I should have that. And looks at him and thinks of ways he wants to be related to him.
That's pretty cool.
All right. And what is Chad's relationship with Ollie?
Chad knows Ollie's in love with him.
Okay.
And so Chad looks out for him. Ollie's a little guy. He doesn't have a lot of money, and he doesn't have a dad. And frankly, I see a little bit of myself mirrored in that, because what would happen if my dad and mom split up? Who knows?
Ooh. Ollie, what's your relationship like with Rush or Spuds?
What
What do you call him?
I call him Spuds.
I think I call him Rush.
You call him Yes?
I think that Ollie's mom looks down on Rush's family. There's this, even though we're kind of poor, there's this sort of classism going on. This sort of imbues Ollie with he's a little scared of Rush, but because he's scared of him, he's drawn to him.
Yeah. I bet your mom likes that you're hanging out with me.
Yeah, sure. I think you've got...
Your mom loves me, dude.
I think you're one of those guys that thinks that everyone's mom loves them.
Yeah.
That's when you're
Sometimes
trait.
reality lives up to my beliefs.
All right. And so, Rush, what is your relationship like with Ollie?
Yeah, so with Ollie, I begrudgingly sort of accept him. I don't think that he would survive a day on his own in the woods by himself. I don't have that much respect for him in that regard. But I feel really needed. Like I provide something to Ollie, like almost like a protection, or almost like a sort of like this person would not be able to make it out here, but with me, with us, we can all do it together. And it sort of comes down to my pride that I really like to help people. And so while I do believe that Ollie couldn't survive a day in the woods on his own, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen.
So I've got everyone's relationships to one another, right?
Mhm.
We're good. Okay. So next we're going to, I'll start with you, Stuart, as well. Who is your anchor?
My anchor is my older sister Clarissa, who is a shoe-in for prom queen and the coolest girl in school.
Nice. Is she like, what, 17? She's in high school?
Yeah. She's in high school. Yeah, I occasionally get crap from some of the older boys because they are interested in my sister, but they know not to give me too much crap because they still want a chance with her.
Mm.
right. And so, Ollie, who's your anchor?
The librarian, Ms. Crandall.
Miss
What-
Crandall loves me too.
What gave that? What gave you that connection?
I'm always in the library and people get to talking.
Is that also? Is it also something
You're
where
a regular?
like she kind of knows your mom will have late shifts, shut down the library, but let you kind of stay in and read and
That sounds good to me.
yeah,
That
like
sounds
you're
good to me,
you
yes.
know, like she's taking you in like an Emmanuel Lewis,
Exactly.
like a latchkey kid.
Exactly.
Normally
I'm
she
a
doesn't let
Emmanuel
kids
Lewis.
eat in the library, but she lets you eat your peanut butter and jellies when all the other kids are gone.
Because it's your
Yeah, my
one meal for
carrots
the
and
day.
hummus.
All right. So Ken, what about you? Who is Rush's anchor?
Rush's anchor is a fellow hunter, and I'm wondering, is that the dog or is that a person? I'm not really sure who this fellow hunter is.
Like a firearms or a bow hunter?
I think bow hunter is where I'd like to go with it, because originally I thought maybe I should have a 22 as my item, but then I was like, no, I don't want to get that. So I think I have a fellow hunter. I think it's this school janitor
Who's also a hunter?
who is also the hunter. Yeah. His name is Anders. And Anders has become very lonely since Mrs. K, that's Crandall.
I think she's made herself. She still can be found in the library. She just made herself unavailable.
Yes,
to-
she's made
to
herself unavailable.
to Anders the janitor.
Yes.
So let's figure out what your guys' hideout is. What are you feeling? It's
Well-
where you're alone and safe.
On the table is already this mining shaft.
Mine shaft or a basement of abandoned like chalet or abandoned like cottage or something like that.
Yeah, like a board, like something that hasn't been used from the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. Maybe from the 40s, from when this place originally boomed.
Yeah.
Something like that.
What do you feel, Dan? Where would you, as a bookworm, where would you want to comfortably hang out? And here's something too. Would it be like, you also note that you have a mountain sort of like between, like there's this South Mountain. So it's like neighborhood, South Mountain, then Ski Mountain. So the
Okay.
South Mountain also is available if you guys want to throw a hideout on there closer to your neighborhood.
Right.
I would say we might want to do like a mine shaft on the South Mountain,
Cool.
just to make it slightly easier to bike to.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Cool.
So we have to like push some logs aside to get to.
Yeah, there's the secret entrance for
Yeah,
sure.
let's say it was like a test bore tunnel where they were like trying to see like what is this stuff made of? Is
Uh-huh.
the South Mountain going to be viable if we wanted the loop closer to Pittsfield? And so this was just an old like shallow bore that just terminates after maybe
Yeah.
like 30 feet, 40 feet.
And because it's our hideout, we don't have to worry about some kind of My Bloody Valentine situation because
That's
we're
right.
safe there.
super safe. And we like
Not even My Bloody Valentine 3D.
have,
No.
like flashlights and stuff.
I want to say that I somehow dragged a very comfortable chair there.
Yeah. No, totally. We probably
Like,
all three
It
dragged it
took
together.
so long
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
it.
So that's a question. How high up on South Mountain is this bore and which direction does it face? Does it face towards town? Does Does it face towards the ski? Like, does it look down on your neighborhood and
It
then
looks.
off to
I think it
Pittsfield?
looks down on our neighborhood,
Okay.
but it's not that high.
No, it's not that bad, and we especially love to go to the peak, as it were, and like look out over our school, which is on the other side of the mountain.
Mm-hmm. You sit there with your
Or
dog.
sort of. It's,
Right.
or
so your
rather,
guys-
look over
your
the
guys' neighborhoods. The ski lodge is on the
yeah,
other
look over
side.
the ski lodge rather, and have a really good view of our school.
What's your dog's name again?
Hobo.
Hobo. Yeah.
Do you have a name for your hideout?
Thunder Cave.
Oh, cool.
Thunder
Yeah,
Cave.
Thunder Cave. I like it, man.
Thunder Cave rules.
Like
It's probably
thunder-
because it
thunder lizards.
echoes weird or something.
Yeah.
We have like weird echoes that
Yeah.
go through and like dripping water that we can never seem to find.
And when we turn on our boombox, it fucking rocks in there.
Mhm.
Plus, like your Lion-O and Chitara figures are there.
Exactly. Yes,
Yep.
Exactly.
Let's get into some questions. We'll start with you, Stuart.
Chad.
Chad, yeah. In what way has Chad's problems gone from bad to worse lately?
The woman who my father has been sleeping with, my father, Bennett Dawson, she has started calling the house.
Is she from town?
Yep.
So she's been calling the house, and so you've been intercepting these calls, trying to keep them from your mother?
Yes. It started off with her calling and then hanging up if anyone other than Bennett answered.
Would she leave messages on your tape machine?
But then that's how I found out is she left a message and it sounded super fakey of her trying wanting to talk to my father about some kind of a business deal.
Yeah, who is this woman? Does she work?
I don't
so where
remember
does
it.
she
I
work?
deleted it. She works at the lens crafters in town.
Oh, okay. So she's not that classy. She's just.
I mean, I'm
super
not
hot or
casting
whatever.
any aspersions on lens
Okay,
crafters,
fair enough. I am.
but she is of.
This is the 80s. This was all high. It's like Radio Shack's big. Like, everything's big. We don't have.
That's true.
What is it where you mail? Warby Parker is
There's
not
no-
on the horizon.
There is no Warby Parker, but you know,
and my mother Diane.
she works at the Supercuts.
My my mother doesn't work. What are you insane? She's not like.
She keeps home and helps in the lodge.
Yeah, exactly. And she has like gardening clubs and
Right.
stuff.
Plus, it's I mean, you guys own Dawson's Lodge, which is what is that? This is so. Point of where is this the hotel chain here, or is it like straight up? You guys own the ski lodge and run Bousquet Ski.
We'll run the hotel.
Okay, so you guys run like this Berkshire Lodge, which is Dawson's Berkshire Lodge.
Yes.
Okay, down here.
I would say it's the largest of the lodges.
Cool.
Yeah, it's open during the off season, so people can still eat there because the food is amazing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still- it's still in the mountains. It's really nice.
All right.
It's probably the nicest
Yeah,
restaurant
it
in
is,
town.
Definitely.
So, Dan, what problem for you has gone from bad to worse lately?
So yeah, I didn't mention it before, but there's he's dealt with a lot of bullying, and recently his primary bully, who had a free period at the end of the day, has had his schedule changed, and so now he gets out of school at exactly the same time as Ollie. And before he was able to kind of avoid his major bully, but now he's basically attacked by him every day after school.
Yeah. So I have two bully names for you, if you'd like.
Okay.
Right? Jeremy Starr with 2
Uh-huh.
R's, or
Yeah.
John Wolf.
I like Jeremy Starr with 2 R's.
All right. So Jeremy Starr is your bully.
And I'm assuming both Chad and Rush do not have a free period at that time.
No, or else.
Yeah, where else?
So, Rush, what about you? How has your problem gone from bad to worse?
I think my
By the
da-
way, Jeremy Starr thinks I'm pretty cool.
I think my dad has started coughing up blood in the morning.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
Has he been hiding it?
100%. But I can tell the thing.
Because your German Shepherd had some like
My-
bloody rags.
my German Shepherd found the bloody cough rags in the trash. Yeah. My German Shepherd has
What are
a
you
taste
getting
for blood.
into, hobo?
Hobo.
Now he's got a taste for your dad's blood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Chad,
Mhm.
what is the furthest you've traveled from your hometown?
We're in Massachusetts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we used to summer at Myrtle Beach. We've gone to Aspen a few times, but never during the season.
A ski convention kind of thing?
Yeah. So I guess Aspen's probably the furthest.
Okay.
My
grandparents in Myrtle Beach or something?
Yeah, I have grandparents in Myrtle Beach. And my parents went to Japan once without me, but they brought me back a T-shirt that I still wear.
Nice. So Dan, what about you? What's the furthest that Ollie has ever traveled outside of books?
It was a Hard Rock Cafe Tokyo T-shirt, by the way.
I was hoping it was going to be a Michael Jackson like tour T-shirt, all in Japanese.
I think that there was a period when Ollie was very young where his dad briefly left them before the time he really left them. And during that period, Lois went home and to her parents in California for a while, and until they tried to reconcile and got all back together. And so he went to California when he was very young, but he doesn't really remember it.
How
Do
far have you
you still have a suntan?
Yeah, it's weird. It's not my genes got changed, but
Ken, what about you? How far has Rush ever traveled?
I think Rush has this sort of outsider vibe a little bit because he moved to town when he was pretty young. So he's actually from the South. And after his mother died, his dad picked up stakes and moved here to get away from that history and sort of that pain. Basically, he's like a ski lift operator or a ski lift maintenance person.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he found a work here effectively, and that's where we sort of settled, and things have been going pretty well.
All right. So we'll do one more round of questions, and then we'll get into some group questions, and off we go. So let's start with you, Chad, again. What do you think about school?
Oh, I think school's pretty cool. Like, not the classes and stuff, but I like getting to hang out with people and see people, and, teachers are all right.
How do you get on with the teachers?
Oh, they're okay. They're just doing their job. My grades are okay, whatever. Some of them get mad at me, but it's all fine.
C's and D's or Chad Dawson?
They said that to me once, but come on. They're not gonna fail me. I'm a Dawson.
So, Dan, what about Ollie? What is your relationship with school?
you would think he would like it as such a bookworm, but he likes certain things. He likes certain classes. He likes English. He likes art. He likes science a little bit. He thinks he's so much smarter than the other kids there, and the other kids are so mean to him that the combination between those two things makes it like he doesn't really like to go to school that much, and every chance he can to like fake being sick to stay home, he takes it and stuff like that. But he's a solid student, but not an overachiever, because he's the kind of kid who's like smart enough that he realizes he doesn't need to try that hard.
All right. Rush, what is your relationship with school?
Yeah, I think Rush has a pretty bad relationship with school. As you can see, his mentor at school is the janitor. That he's really tight with his buddy, the janitor, and he doesn't particularly care about scholastic achievement. That's not really what he's about. It's sort of like, I'm going to get out of school and get a job like my dad working, on fixing machines. So I don't need to learn any of this stuff. Like, Rush is more interested to go traipsing around the outdoors with Hobo and with his buddies.
How many times did Rush show up for show and tell or like a science project, and you're like, my science project's my dog?
Yes, probably almost every time. Probably almost every time. And when it wasn't his dog, it was like a shitty, like, cardboard sort of science project with like a metal bowl, and the question is, does an egg float in water? And it's just like
Sure.
an egg in a metal bowl full of water.
Is there a class that Rush likes particularly? Like, is he a home ec or vocational kind of like guy? Is that his bent? Like, does he like shop, or does he like biology? And like, if there was a class that he leans towards not skipping if he had to, or looks forward to in the tapestry of blah that he feels at school.
Yeah, it definitely would be. I think he's really into like computer repair.
Mm-hmm.
He's like into repairing computers. Like,
Cool.
he likes doing that.
Yeah.
That's more it. But yeah, he
It's
can
a
take
technical
machines.
thing.
Yeah, he can put machines together and put them apart. He's not like a coder or a developer or something like that. But sure, I can take them apart and put them back together.
That's cool.
So sort of that. I think that vibe that he enjoys that.
The class that I look forward to most is science, but that's only because that's a class I share with Lisa Mazzucchelli, who I have a crush on.
Lisa Mazzucchelli.
Yeah, Lisa Mazzucchelli.
All right.
We're lab partners in biology.
Not the most beautiful girl in school, Kimberly LaLakes.
Not Kimberly LaLakes.
Tough to get LaLakes, man.
Hey, this one Lisa laughs at my jokes. She makes me laugh. That's cool. We have similar haircuts.
Let's go into a few group questions. And I want everybody to kind of chime in on this. What are you fighting about?
Oh, the three of us?
Yeah, what's the hot topic of arguments right now? It's 1986. It's early 86. So it's like January. Or
So it
February.
can't be Star Wars The Last Jedi. I think it should be something that we have a secret of some kind. I don't want to say a dead body because that's crazy. We saw like a shooting star, or we saw a car accident and the guy drove off.
And so so that's kind of a secret. What's the argument?
The argument is, I think we should tell the police, and you guys don't think they'll believe us.
Yeah, Dan, what does Ollie feel about this?
And we might lose our hideout because we saw it while we were hanging out in our hideout.
Yeah, you saw a hit and run on South Road,
Yeah.
Highway 20.
Yeah, we're looking out with our binoculars, and we're keeping an eye on everything from the perch, from the hideout, and then I guess we see this hit and run. That's
It was a car, no person. I don't want to say a person died.
No,
But
no.
maybe somebody's in the hospital.
There was so
Yeah,
just so you
we
know
saw a
too, like this
crash.
world has like there's robots. There's also these like mag lift kind of things, and
Yeah.
they're basically just like freighters or
Cool.
trucks that move very slowly, but they're cheap. So they'll put like non-perishables on them that don't have to get anywhere real fast, and just kind of like there's usually a lane for them.
Oh,
Or-
like in Logan.
Yeah, or they'll have like big ones that are almost like cruise ships that just kind of like slowly lift and move. It's faster to take a plane, it's faster to take a train, it's faster to drive. But if you're just moving a bunch of heavy shit, this is the cheapest way to do it if you
Okay.
aren't worried about time. So maybe in the hit and run, someone like pinged one of these things and kind of spiraled it off the road. They're usually just like automated.
Yeah.
I love
Especially
it.
the smaller
and
ones.
that stopped the forward momentum of the entire line, right? So like the crash causes the freighter to basically jackknife, and it just stops the traffic. So all these freighters are backed up everywhere. Became this whole big thing.
Okay.
Right.
And so we sort of saw who did it, I guess.
And maybe we don't want to tell anyone because something fell off that truck that you guys want to keep.
Ooh, that's kind of cool. So we ran down there to see what was going on and
Got
grabbed something.
got some parts off of that.
I love it. Yeah, that's sweet. So we're arguing about whether or not to come forward with this
So
information.
would Ollie want to give that stuff away or keep it, or does he want to? Is he the one who says don't tell because I want to hold on to this stuff?
I feel like Ollie is a real rules follower and he wants to tell the police, but he also knows that like his mom would never approve of anything ever again that happened if she knew that we had this secret hideout and we're watching and we went down to this accident site. And so he's just keeping quiet out of wanting to still be able to play with his friends.
And they still post like occasional like ads and articles for a reward that for information in the Berkshire Eagle, the local Pittsfield newspaper. You know, there's always that tension. You could make a little bank if you told what happened.
Money is only a partial incentive to me. It's the friendship that I would receive from the police department and getting my picture in the paper. I would love that. I have a shirt picked out. It's Hard Rock
So
Cafe
you
Tokyo.
nice. So you do want to tell the police.
I
Chad-
do.
Chad
I do
wants
not
to
like.
wants to tell the police.
I do not like
Tell the
secrets.
authorities. All right.
Right,
In
you
fact,
don't. You really don't like secrets.
I've told my sister where our hideout is.
Nice. Of course
I
you
haven't
did.
told you guys
She's
that though.
super cool. No.
I probably told you guys. I have a big mouth. Chad has a big mouth,
So
guys.
maybe we're fighting about that a little bit too. Maybe that's
You
it.
might be mad that Chad has a big mouth. But that big mouth has gotten you guys out of trouble before.
I meant mad that you told your sister.
One more. What do you guys like to do?
What do we like to do?
Yeah. What is like, you know, you have to go to school, you have to do home stuff, you hang out in your hideout, but what do you like to do?
Arcade games.
I feel like
80s
going to the
style.
arcade makes sense.
Yep, arcade
we
games
all
really
like.
dope. We like.
You're up for the arcade, right?
Yeah, no, I am.
And I think too the arcade.
You're probably pretty good at the arcade.
The arcade is actually in the like the ski lodge has like it's actually one of the few spots that
Oh, that's
stays
cool.
open is an arcade. Like it's a draw. It's like when kids come down and they're
Yeah.
you know.
I
their
like the
parents are
idea that
drinking.
I like to think that you're like the best at the game, and I'm like your hype man, hovering around.
And I'm terrible.
But
No
but you
good.
still love
Oh
the
yeah,
games.
I'm still in there. I'm still in there. Traipsing around the woods, like finding new areas on our mountain. We sort of think of South Mountain as like our dements, our mountain.
I do like picking up a stick and then hitting it against others.
Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes we just follow Hobo's nose. I don't know. He just takes us on weird adventures.
Hobo is the dog I'm never allowed to have.
Yes, exactly.
How do you guys get around? Do you have bikes? It's a hilly spot. I'm sure there's some hiking, but
I mean, I certainly have a bike.
I feel like I do have a bike, but I don't have skis. I don't know how to ski. That's not something that I'm really had anything to do with.
What about you, Ollie? How do you?
No, I think I have a bike. I think I at one point had had a paper route, but I gave it up because it was too hilly all over the place.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Uh,
glad that you insisted that you don't have skis in case we get into like a James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
like ski
I'm
fight.
terrible at. I do not know how to ski. I'm not a skier.
So here's the one. When did you guys get to know each other? Like, at what age and what period of your lives were you at when this little like group of oddfellows became a unit?
I feel like it was like one summer when both of your parents were working at the lodge, and we were all like kind of too young to like go do our own thing. So we all came to. Like, we were all kind of stuck at the lodge at the same time. And we were the only kids that were roughly the same age. My sister was too, but she quickly got bored of us.
Yep.
Maybe there was...
She was our age, basically, when we all met, maybe like 3 years ago-ish. If she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
17, now she was 14 when we met, so we were like 10, 11, which is exactly the time when Return of the Jedi came out, so maybe we all saw Jedi together and bonded.
That makes sense. We're like, I
And-
love those tiny space bears.
Love those space bears.
I remember that summer because that was the summer that Jeremy Starr was our friend, but he's not our friend anymore.
Fuck that guy.
Something happened. I mean, he still likes me. But you guys, he doesn't like.
Yeah, I don't really like him either.
I think we got our kids and we got our world, and we'll get into the story. This first scene, Dan, it's going to be you. It's going to be just you getting
My
up in the
worst fear.
morning to go to school.
Yeah, all right.
It's a mid-January. School's only been back on since the break for a little bit now. It's still like it's in the 40s. It's not quite cold enough to be winter. And that's kind of been the run so far through. You got a little bit of a flurry, maybe some rain, but it's still been pretty warm. What time does Ollie wake up, and how does he wake up?
He wakes up starting at 6, but then like continually hits snooze. Like he set it up so he can like hit snooze 8 times.
Is it the eat, 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 or is it music?
It's the horrible beeping. Yeah, which he has a weird like post-traumatic stress association with that noise. Like it throws him into an anxiety attack whenever he hears it.
What's on Ollie's walls? What does his room look like?
Do you have at least one like super sick automobile somewhere on that wall?
Maybe in the form of a DeLorean in the Back to the Future poster.
Nice.
Sure.
I'm gonna steal a detail from my own childhood. I'm gonna say that he's a weirdo kid because he's got a Gashly Crumb Tiny's poster on the wall.
Oh. The alphabet.
Yeah.
Now, are these framed and on the wall?
No.
They're like thumbtacked or tacky tape.
He's
Or,
got
blue
tacky,
tack or
bluey
something. Yeah.
tack stuff. It's very low tech.
So he hits his alarm a bunch. You've been hitting your alarm, and you finally get up. It's like 6 in the morning. It's still dark. It's middle of winter. Is your mom home?
Yeah, let's say that sometimes she works overnight, so sometimes she's just getting in when I come up. But most of the time has a more reasonable schedule, but she's asleep while I go off to school because she has to rest up.
All right. So she is asleep right now.
Yeah.
All right. So are you pretty quiet as you get up and go to school, get dressed?
Yeah.
Do you make your own breakfast in the morning?
Yeah, but it's just like Special K.
Nice.
Now, do you pack your own lunch?
You make special K?
Yeah. No, I do think that that's something that she still does for me. Is every morning I go to the fridge and there's a sandwich bag in there, and I've got like a sandwich and a piece of fruit, and that's pretty much it for lunch for me.
All right. So you head out for the day. It's pretty dark and cold. Are you pretty early for the bus?
Yeah, because of like where I am on the route, like I always am worried that I'm gonna miss it, so I'm always there way too early and have to stand out in the cold.
When you get up to the bus stop, there's actually a girl who is in your class. She's sitting in a car. Her mom is just kind of sitting there. They're staying warm. The car's idling, and you're standing there in the cold. It's not freezing, but it's still pretty chilly. The mom rolls down the window and calls out to you. Ollie, do you wanna come in the car till the bus gets here? And the girl is like, "Oh my God, Mom, what are you doing?" Just hanging her head. What do you do?
I think I'm like, that's okay. I'm okay out here. It's fine. I'm okay. Because I don't like to cause any trouble for anyone, and I also can sense that the girl doesn't want me to be in the car. So
So you stand out there in the cold, in
Yeah.
the dark.
stand out in the cold.
Let's go with Chad.
Heck yeah.
How do you wake up in the morning?
I wake up to an alarm, fancy alarm clock that plays music.
Oh yeah, is it the local radio station?
Yeah.
Is it, what is it? WUPE Whoopee 103.3.
I'm rocking it, and I'm loving the DJs making the jokes that I crave. So I pop up out of bed, can't wait, jump in the shower, take my routine of 15 minutes of getting my hair up. A lot of product. Got to make that big.
You get up before your sister? Or she's in high school, so she's probably up before you.
She's up before, and she takes like 5 times as long. I have since learned, so I'm sure at some point before I banged on the door and was like, Clarissa, get out of there. Then I put on the T-shirt that I picked out the night before, which says "Take it easy" on it, and it has a baboon wearing sunglasses. And I put on some very loud printed button-down over it. Oh, Clarissa's boyfriend's going to drive me to school because Clarissa's boyfriend's driving her to school.
So you actually get to school a little early because the high school goes to school earlier than the middle school, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So is breakfast made for you, or do you make your own breakfast?
I eat cereal. I mean, my mother doesn't wake up. My mother doesn't wake up to make us breakfast.
Though interestingly, you hear noise in your parents' bedroom when you're like heading down, like towards the staircase, and your dad actually comes out. He's dressed already for the day.
Maybe he's got a meeting.
And he's like, "Hey, Slugger, how's it going?
Oh,
You heading to school?"
yeah. You got a meeting today, Dad?
Yeah, I've got.
How's
you
that
know,
voice, by the way, guys?
Terrific.
got some
True to
business,
life.
champ. Just trying to keep things rolling.
Hey, watch the hair, Dad.
So listen, I have some important business calls that actually should be coming to the house. They won't be coming to the hotel. So if you hear any important calls, let me know, okay?
Okay. Gulp. Should I write anything down?
No, just let me know if somebody calls, and because I have their number, and I'll get a hold of them. It'll be totally cool. All right.
And-
Just do me a favor and just let me know if somebody gives a ring, okay? I don't want to this stuff. Your mom's stressed out. We're kind of running around. She's helping at the lodge. This is me trying to help us out. So just let me know. Let me know if something comes along, okay, bud?
I won't tell Mom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dad.
All right, man. You have a good day at school, all right?
Oh, I always do.
All right. Looking cool, little man.
Oh, shut up.
And down you go to breakfast.
Uh-huh.
How you feeling as you eat your what cereal you
Bad. It tastes like ashes in my mouth. What do you think? I barely eat it, which is rare for me because I love my cereal. Push it aside. Wait for Bryce, Clarissa's current boyfriend, to pick us up.
What's he drive?
Trans Am, dude. It's Honey, Mazzucchelli.
The girl that you have on a crush on's older brother is dating your sister. That's like some weird Oedipal shit. Dude.
It's
good.
It's a weird thing. It's like I want to be my sister.
Yeah, I love it.
He kind of leans the seat forward as you clamber in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually see your dad waving to you from the driveway as he's getting into his like woodside station wagon.
I pointedly ignore him and say, "Hey, what's up, Tony? It's my man.
Nothing, little dude.
Where's the beef?"
Nothing, man. Just what do you think? I just got her tuned up. Do you think we should spin around the neighborhood a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
What do you think, girl? Huh?
Rev it up.
All right.
Clarissa, can we do it?
And off you guys speed into the morning. All right. So, Rush.
Right.
How do you wake up in the morning?
So I'm awoken by my dog licking my face as the sun comes up.
Sun's coming up.
Yep, sun's coming up. Sun's coming up. Dog's licking my face.
So that also like sun's coming up, dog's licking your face, rumble of the bus
Yeah, dude.
outside.
Yeah. I am late as per usual, and so I'm like in a tizzy. I'm just throwing on clothes, trying to get ready for the day. My room is just like a mess of like sticks I've collected and rocks and different like posters from different, probably some posters for like guys in camo, and like probably some posters like Smokey the Bear, and probably another poster of a Leonard Skinner poster, like that's super old.
So lame.
like, because I'm just really into them for whatever reason.
You're into them because of the janitors.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. It's true.
Which
it's true.
sounds like a burger, but it's
But
not
it's not.
really.
No, it's not. Anders is a cool guy. You guys just don't get it.
So you're getting up, you're getting dressed as quick as possible.
Yeah.
No time for a shower.
No time for a shower.
How long has it been since you had a shower?
You know, my dad he's a pretty good parent. I think that one of his rules is that like we have to take a shower before we go to bed every night. So that's like one of the rules that I do follow. And so like I take a shower every night before I go to bed.
All right.
So I don't have to do it in the morning.
All right.
so
And
I can
clean
just-
clothes?
You know, probably not. No, no, definitely not clean clothes.
Are you a kid who like showed up to school smelling bad once, and enough people called you like stinky that you were like, I'm never showing up to school stinky again?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And like my clothes have a lot of like sap stains on them, and just like I'm sort of disheveled. I'm not
It's
very
like
well
clean,
put together.
but like very worn.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
it's like I have a buzz cut, right? Like it's for me, it's just like getting rid of shit. Like
Right.
I don't, like all my hair is gone. Like, I
Yeah,
don't,
let it go.
yeah,
I
like
get
I
it.
don't need it. Like I don't want that. But what I do make sure to do before I leave is spend some time with Hobo and practice our tricks, because I'm really into teaching him tons of tricks. So flipping and rolling and begging and all the stuff. So I like work with him a bit. But my dad, I can hear my dad like hacking and coughing in the bathroom. I hear the bus leaving, obviously. And so I like knock on the door, and I'm like, I'm like, hey, Dad, come on, help me out. I need to get to school. So can you give me a ride?
He just kind of keeps coughing.
3 cool accents.
He just keeps coughing, and
Yeah.
and you don't really know. You do know, like, this is your one last ditch. Is if you run, like, there's a shortcut you can take that you can catch the next stop
Yeah.
on the bus
Yeah.
if you make waves, if you run. But it means like you need to do that now, and you may
Yeah.
not be able to pick up your bag and get your lunch together and stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't really care that much. I care more about my dad. So I'm like knocking on the door. I'm like, hey, Dad, do you want me to make some breakfast? I could fry up some bacon for us and some eggs. What do you think?
You just go on to school, man.
I missed the bus though. I need a ride.
Listen, buddy. I've been getting calls from the principal. He's real worried about you. He's a good guy.
What? Principal Barticello? Oh man, that guy's the worst.
Barticello, yeah, but even so, Vice Principal, I was talking to Vice Principal Dov Kozlovsky, you know, Dr. Kozlovsky, and he was saying, if you miss 2 more days, that's it, all right? You'll have to stay back and stay in 8th grade again. You're getting kind of old for that.
No, I can't do that. I gotta move ahead with my friends.
And he goes into like a pretty strong cough. But before that, he actually raises his voice a little bit and says, you need to help us. You need to pull your weight and go to school, because it's important that someone in this family has and it just drowns out in coughing before he can finish his point.
So I'm like
And your dog's, like,
frustrated,
whimpering
and I
its
like
tail
sort of
to
like I like pound on the door, and I'm like, fine, I'm out of here, and I like rush out. I like run, and like
Rush.
Hobo's
You
running
spuds
after
out.
me, and like barking at my heels as I'm trying to make this. Get on my bike, maybe even. trying to
Maybe
get
if
to
you
the
run
bus.
fast enough, your problems will go
Exactly,
will fall behind
exactly,
you.
they'll fall behind me.
So you rush off into the day. It's homeroom. This is the every morning you guys have one homeroom together. That's like the
Oh,
only
cool,
class
okay.
that you guys are all together in. So like you get off the
That's
bus,
cool.
you gather at the cafeteria with everybody. Sometimes you find each other there and go to homeroom. Usually you go right to homeroom with Mrs. Faltine. She's your homeroom teacher.
Mrs. Faltine?
Mm-hmm. She's actually got Mrs. Faltine. No, there's rumor that she was in an accident, but she has like a prosthetic robotic arm and leg.
Oh shit.
It's pretty cool.
She's not too strict. But she's no pushover. Mrs. Faltine.
So she's a middle grade.
She's a middle grade. Her metal parts are very strict, and her fleshy parts are pushovers.
well,
So there's
that
a
makes
balance. So do you guys meet on the way to homeroom, or do you meet like in the cafeteria where the buses let off, or do you go right to do you all kind of end up meeting at homeroom? What do you feel?
Who's the first person at school?
I think
Probably
you
me.
would-
Chad.
Okay, so you would find me in the cafeteria drawing stuff in a notebook. No, I'm furiously trying to finish my homework
Nice.
that's due this day.
Ollie, what about you? Are you meeting up in the cafeteria with him? You just got off the bus?
If I know that he's in the cafeteria, then I'll go to the cafeteria.
Then I furiously ask you answers to questions.
Homeroom's imminent, but you kind of like sweatily.
Yeah, I sweatily show up. Rush shows up right at the end to get the cafeteria.
Hey, what's up, Rush? Always rushing around.
Good one, Chad.
Yeah, man. Maybe that's why my dad named me this. Because I rushed right out of my mama.
That's
Gross.
so gross.
I know,
right?
man. Isn't that the grossest? Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, is that homework you got going? I think I did mine.
Yeah, I think
You know.
I'm done. Right? I'm done. Right?
I mean, if you want to leave the last two blank, then you're done. Yes.
What? Give me some. This is geography. What am I?
Yeah, what'd you get for the last two? I think I had shuffle. What I have like here, Mexico, I think, and what is this on here?
That last-
China?
Is it China?
It's Mongolia.
That's okay. It's
Mongolia?
Hey.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, listen to him. You know.
All right.
That's why. Hey, that's why we keep Big Brain around.
Yeah,
I wish
no.
you wouldn't call me that.
In hearing Big Brain,
no.
you get a friendly pat on the back,
Yeah.
and you get a very hard, audible smack on the back. And Jeremy Starr leans in and goes, "Yeah, Big Brain, what's up? How you guys doing?
Oh, if it isn't Starry Night over here.
What you doing, Dawson?
Where are you, Vincent Van Going? Oh,
You were a chuckster.
I am a chuckster.
Did you see the Lake sweater today?
No?
Man,
Oh man, she's so beautiful.
I guess. I mean, if you like beautiful girls.
When are you gonna ask her out, Star?
oh, I've been there, done that. Hey,
Oh, that's a bunch
you know
of
what I
bullshit.
mean, Ollie?
No.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
know what you think you mean, but I don't think you mean what you mean.
Oh,
He's got you there.
Burn.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk more about this. We got that free period together. We'll hang, all right?
Yeah.
Chad, is good seeing you. Rush, stay fresh, I guess. And off Jeremy goes. He shoots Ollie a little bit of a glance as he leaves.
Been there, done that? People
That's
still say
That's
that?
bullshit. That's bullshit, man. He never kissed her.
I mean, of course not, but I didn't think Jeremy Fishlips Star would kiss anybody.
Nah, fish lips.
Remember when we made him kiss that fish?
He was into it, man.
More importantly, I'm more of a Beverly Fullerton man.
Of course he. Wait,
Wow.
Beverly Fullerton?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She's got those cute glasses.
Yeah, but she had to wear that corrective brace all those years?
So she's got a great back now.
I guess, but I mean, when we called her RoboCop all those times, you didn't say anything. You just nodded your head. Do you want to date RoboCop?
You
Part
saying you
robot,
wouldn't
part cop, all
want to date
cop.
RoboCop?
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
You're saying that you wouldn't want to date RoboCop. That's what confuses me.
I guess we just
I
gotta
mean-
ask somebody who dates Miss Faltine, right?
Guess?
I guess, because, I mean, she is kind of like RoboCop.
She kind of is when you think about it.
I guess. Ugh. Well,
Maybe she got like a fire hose that comes out of her hand.
There's a
I mean,
waft.
that joke's, I mean, it's a chalk duster for the chalkboard, right? That's the joke we've made.
So there's like a waft of perfume and pheromones, and walking past you
Stop talking about me.
is Kimberly Lake
Okay.
in a very festive sweater, very comfortable looking.
Arguably the most popular girl in school.
Right. She's
Is she our grade or?
she's an 8th grader as well as you. Yeah, you guys are all in 8th grade.
Okay.
So she is high school beautiful kind of
Oh.
Sure. Okay.
thing, right?
Yep.
But
That's what it says on her tombstone.
she's actually, you see her, she's been peeled away from her group, and you notice that Dr. Koplowski has gestured her over, your vice principal, kind of takes her aside, and you see a guy, kind of a balding man with glasses, kind of nervously playing with his hat. They're talking to her. She starts like sobbing, like crying,
Ooh.
and Koplowski like sort of pats her on the back, like gingerly, and you see this sort of bald man like hang his head a little bit more, and that's when the bell goes off to go to homeroom. And
So I whisper, I
you guys
say-
are going to walk right past this scene.
I say, hey, Rush, what's happened to your girlfriend? Something bad.
I
I
am.
clearly just adopted my fake Rush
Yeah,
voice.
You're welcome. Right? Well, maybe it's sort of the way you make fun of him a little bit. It's
Yes,
you
it's
do it a little bit.
infectious,
Yeah, yeah.
and I can't help it. I make fun of him, and I just made fun of a girl who's crying.
Exactly. Right? You're cool. You're hip. You're with it.
Yep.
He says, "Oh man, that sweater's so amazing. What is that? A dolphin on there?
Like, I think we should be more concerned with
About what? Oh,
with why she's crying.
oh, she's crying.
Well, so as you guys go past, if you'd like, we could go to a roll here.
Yeah, I definitely want to like slow up and like try and like eavesdrop, like rubberneck, sort of like
So
get a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I mean, I don't think I want to insert myself into this situation, even though me and the vice principal go way back. I don't recognize the guy holding his hat in his hand.
does
not
he?
particularly, it's an adult. Like it's
Yeah.
not an adult you have everyday impact with. So no, it's sort of sure. It looks like another white
Does-
dude with glasses.
Does he look well to do, or does he look?
He looks
more...
pretty like straight and narrow.
Straight and
like
narrow.
he's got a crumpled shirt and a suit jacket. He's got his coat on over that, and he has a
Yeah, we just
like
don't know who this person is.
newsy type cap, one of those
Sure.
that he's just
Okay.
peak cap that he's just kind of like ringing a little
Yeah.
bit with his
Yeah,
hands.
he's-
yeah.
Yeah, I try and rubberneck it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get.
What would Ollie also try to listen in on this? As you guys are again sort of like slow walking past the situation.
I think I feel like it's untoward to try and listen to it, so I'm just trying to block it out as much as I can.
All right.
Yeah, I think while we're walking by, you're trying to listen in, and I'm trying to get the last couple of answers from my boy Ollie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I noticeably like slow down and sort of linger. I'm not even that subtle or sly about it.
Can
I'm
we
just
say
sort of-
that our performance of paying attention to my homework would help him on his attempt to
Yeah, that you guys are
secretly
a cluster.
listen? Yeah.
They're very like focused.
that is
Yeah,
not a
so
six?
so nothing. You try to be subtle, and you guys have slowed down to like cause a distraction here.
We're as subtle as a couple of
You're right.
pretty
As a bunch
teenage
of 8th
boys.
graders
Exactly.
can be. A little bit out of character, Dr. Koplowski notices you guys and says, hey, come on, get on, guys. Cut this out. Get on out of here.
And I say,
And Kimberly noted, like, flushes and turns away from you.
I say, yeah, it's just sort of, sorry, Dr. K.
My sunglasses, which have been sitting on top of
Nice.
my hair at this point, get knocked down so that they are on the bridge of my nose, covering my eyes. And I say, hey, Dr. K, of course, Rush forgot where homeroom is again. I'm showing him around. And I put my hands on his shoulder and start dragging him away.
So he
And I just-
goes back to the tableau. You guys were a minor distraction. that
I
you've been-
can't stop staring at Kimberly. Like I'm like fixated on
Yeah.
at
And
her
you guys round
crying
the corner
face or
and go
whatever.
off to school. And that's scene. Next scene, I propose that you guys it's later that day in
Cool.
the hideout. But
Sweet.
if you guys want to be somewhere else, let me know.
No, I think that's perfect. That's perfect. It's hideout time.
An after school hideout. Now, before we get to that, did he get bullied before this point?
Ooh.
Tim,
Is
what
it up to
happened?
you?
What happened to Ollie? He got a telling glance from Jeremy Starr.
They have the same free period now at the end of the day, so they're getting out early without anyone else being around. And Ollie tried today to leave the school by the back way and was clever enough to evade him today, knowing full well that means that he's going to get beat up extra hard next time.
How open are you with that bullying with us? I mean, I'm assuming you've had a black eye, or like have you've had like black eyes and shit, or like he's fucked up your books. So he's probably
Ripped your clothes.
Does he use like towels full of oranges? So it's like
no,
just
but like
body blows?
have you told us who's doing it?
I think I'm still like I'm nervous that you guys like him too much. So I don't know how it's gonna go if I bring it up.
And my strategy with Jeremy Starr is I am nice to him because I'm basically nice to everybody. The question is whether or not you suspect he needs a good beatdown.
I don't think I do. I
Okay.
think I'm pretty thick. But were that to be known to me, I would probably lose it and be all like, "Fuck
Yeah.
this guy! Like this is going down right now."
Okay.
Like
All right.
that's sort of I think where Rush is if Rush is very protective
We're,
of Ollie.
we're giving you a
So-
warning as to what might happen.
Yeah, so if
Should
we're
Jeremy
rushed
pop up?
we're rushed to figure that out, or were it to be known to him,
Okay.
he would
It's
definitely.
like, what
take
will happen
action.
to the NPC? Does my NPC need to die?
Why, yes, he does. So you guys, the hideout, right?
Sure.
It's
Hideout.
after school. It's getting dark early still, right? So like maybe like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we're like watching the planes take off and land.
Mhm. There's
at
like
the, at the
like
airport.
slow hover craters.
Yeah.
That just kind of
Oh, is that what happens at the airport? It's hover
that's
crate.
both. There
Oh,
there
cool.
are planes that take off and these like hover craters that come off.
Cool.
Yeah. So what are you guys talking about at?
I don't know,
hideout?
man. Maybe one of her parents died or something like that. I don't know why I should be crying. She's not gonna get kicked out of school. I mean, who was that guy?
I mean, we didn't see her at all the rest of the day. Right?
No, actually, yeah. She ended up being out the rest of the day.
Okay. I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe somebody's sick. Somebody's in the hospital. It happens, man.
Yeah, well, not everybody who's sick goes to the hospital, Chad. Not always.
I mean, I guess, but I'm sure everything's going to be okay. I mean, we didn't hear anything about it on the news. It's not like there was a car accident.
Yeah, there was nothing on Whoopi that I heard about it. No, Whoopi is the name of the radio station.
WUPE
Whoopee,
103.3.
thank you. Oh,
Whoopi's the name of the
right.
radio station.
Me either. I didn't hear anything about it on Whoopi.
103.3.
But I have seen, as I adjust my binoculars, I have seen Mr. Nelson go to the bank 3 times in 20 minutes. What's that about?
Oh wow, maybe.
What's that about?
What a dumbass.
And then
What
I
a
put my
dumbass.
sunglasses down and like shrug my shoulders.
Yo, man, maybe we should go check up on her. Maybe we could go to her house and
What,
see if everything's okay.
What do you guys have in the hideout?
We have the throne.
We
that
have-
we like this lazy boy or whatever
Yeah.
we like pulled here.
I feel like we also have an Encyclopedia Britannica
Yeah.
that I took from my house.
Got
That
co-
like I took from my house because we wanted to have it, and I knew my parents wouldn't give a shit
Yeah.
if it was gone.
Comic books?
comic books,
Oh yeah,
figurines, toys.
Yeah, I've got a lot of books there that are like there's nothing pornographic or
Well,
anything
there
like that.
is one thing. Some National Geographics that we're getting thrown out.
Okay, yes,
Heyo.
that's true. But for the most part, it's just like trashy stuff that like I would feel embarrassed to have at home book wise. So I got it there.
Firecrackers.
VC Andrews kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
My sweet Audrine.
I mean we haven't covered this thing, but it's probably the most important part of this game, guys. Do we all have a walkie-talkie?
If you guys each want a walkie-talkie, that's great. You guys can have a walkie-talkie.
We do. We do. we-
Me and him at least share one.
Okay. You each have
Do you
one.
want one as well?
I mean, yes, of course I do.
Okay.
But what is it? What happens with a fourth walkie-talkie? Because you can't just buy a single walkie-talkie. You
Well,
have
we
to
need
buy
a
them in-
fourth person for
We already
the
do.
Thunder
We
Club.
got Hobo. Just-
Hobo can't carry it.
Yeah,
and
we can
also
attach
you
it to his.
share it.
Can attach it to his collar.
I mean, for now, until we find a fourth official human member.
Yeah, yeah. Hobo can carry the extra
Okay.
one.
Yep. We have walkie-talkies. That's
walkie-talkies.
Yeah,
important.
we do.
You hear like the sort of like hum.
I mean,
of-
we have like sleeping bags.
Yeah.
I feel like we're stocked pretty well. I feel like I've been like slowly siphoning off my allowance to pay for to help fund the Thunder
Kid
Club
us out.
Thunder Club improvements.
What do you have from the transport in here?
because I have like 2 parents who are
Yeah.
kind of not paying attention to me.
So I like the idea that what we got off the transport is actually like tech that was bound for like the lab. So it's like some really weird anachronistic tech shit that we'd have no idea what it does. But I don't know.
Yeah,
What
but
do
it's
you guys
something
think?
that you're interested
I'm
in fucking
into it.
around
Yeah,
with.
well,
Okay.
fuck yeah,
and,
we're
and
fucking around
Ollie,
with
you
it.
have some book's knowledge, what do you think this thing is?
It's like an arch.
Mhm.
You know, I have all these like theories that like, what if it's a transporter arch, or what if it phases in and out from a different dimension, or what if it's a
And-
time arch? Like what if like all these like ideas like what if you go through it?
How big is
what
the
could
arch?
happen? It's not like full size, but it's like if you duck through, you can definitely go through like standing
okay.
up.
Like a
Did-
3-foot little loop?
Yeah.
Thing?
Did we construct this thing then? We like were able to put it together and
Or
sort of,
was
like-
it-
or was it fully formed?
Yeah, was it like a crate that you guys
Yeah,
just
was it-
pulled off this thing?
Yeah, right.
Or is like in one big crate wrapped in like
Right.
fucking cellophane and shit.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wood shavings.
Yeah. People still
Yep.
pack things in wood shavings.
Yep. You gotta pack the arch and wood shavings.
Cedar to keep the moths out.
Whatever it is, I
So,
don't like it.
got
I
it.
don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
we have.
And I'm way into it. Like I'm like whenever Ollie's like, oh, it's another dimension, it's time. I'm like, whoa, yes.
Anytime,
I'm super
anytime
into
you
it.
guys talk about how like fancy, like what kind of properties it might have, I fuck around. I'm like, oh yeah, it's real powerful, and then I like limbo under it and
Nice.
shit, and be like, oh, it's super powerful.
We're like, no, man, you don't get it. This
The
kid-
first time I did it, I'm assuming you guys got super nervous. I was going to be
yeah, right. You're
transported
gonna
to
turn into jelly or
the
something.
world of zine or something.
You guys are what at the mouth of this thing right now? Where are you all?
Yeah,
hanging?
we're at the we're
Yeah,
watching the airfield. We're hanging out.
Maybe we have beanbag chairs, or do we have like folding chairs?
like one lawn chair.
Yeah, we've got like one lawn
Yeah.
chair. Yeah, and
that
then maybe
we've,
like
slowly stolen from things.
a wooden stool that's missing one leg. It's
Mhm.
got like only 3 legs or something like that. And then I've got my sitting rock that I like to sit on.
Do you guys smoke?
No,
I don't smoke.
no.
All right. Good.
I am
good kids.
too nervous to smoke.
No.
There's a kind of a moment of quiet, like the mag ship is left. You just kind of see the Pittsfield off in the distance. The lights just kind of quiet. The factories are still going, but they're quiet. It's not quite end of day. It's like it's in the like high 30s right now.
Mhm.
You guys are protected from the wind, and it's sort of a quiet.
Maybe
Moment.
she has to move away, man. Maybe that's why she's getting taken out of school.
I mean, she wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, but she's like the queen of the school. If we lose her, what happens next? I don't.
I mean, she's gonna graduate, right? And then she'll have to try and be the queen of high school.
Blah
I thought
blah
you're-
blah blah la lakes.
I thought your
Always
sister
about
was the
little
queen of
lakes.
the high school.
All I'm saying is,
You don't like the lakes, Ollie?
I'm saying things change.
What?
She'll be okay.
There's a flash in the sky, and almost like the sound of like reverse thunder,
Uh huh.
and like a tableau, almost
Like it sucks in, then booms.
yeah.
Okay.
You see the entire skyline is taken up by, like in your mind, you could only imagine that it's like a mag ship, but it's a massive in scale. It takes up the entire sky.
Okay.
This thing, it's outlined. It's like barely lit, and it's there hanging in the sky, not moving, static for a moment. Emblazoned across it, you can just make out Transstellar Industries. And then before you can register what's happening, it's gone. And there's a point of light, a thing just kind of like blinking and shining that arcs and lands somewhere above you on South Mountain, and your hideout is rocked slightly and dust filters down.
Holy shit!
Did you guys see that?
How could I miss it, man?
Should we go and try and find whatever hit the?
Hell yeah! Come on, hobo!
I chase after you and Hobo. While we're doing that, I hold your arm. I'm saying, what was that? What did you see on the side of that thing?
It said something like Transstellar Industries or something.
That's what I thought it said.
That's what I thought it said. Do we know what Transstellar Industries is? Have we ever heard of that?
No, you never had heard of it. It would be like beyond impossible to know what that is. But do you have a guess as to what it could be? Bookworm here. Would you know what Transstellar is?
Yeah, I mean, I would know the words. It seems like my theory would be that it would be like a shipping unit from some other. Why can't I think of words? Galaxy, yeah, society,
Planet, yeah.
Solar system.
just some sort of big industrial unit that phased into our reality and then phased out.
No snow You guys have, again, except for
And
occasional
we are running
flurry,
super
you guys
fast,
are running
right?
up this mountain through paths that you know well towards what you can only presume might be a crash site.
Yeah.
You arrive in a clearing.
I mean, we're following Hobo.
Yeah,
Hobo's never
with
left
us.
us
Yeah,
astray.
Hobo knows what's up.
Hobo's racing up there, and you come into a clearing that is littered with metallic debris. There's an impact crater, and it looks like something's already actually been dragged away
What?
from this impact crater, like dragged up, and you hear like a motor in the distance. And now there's just this scattering of debris and metal bits and some residual heat and light from some like flickering, burning trees nearby.
So, is there enough debris that the thing we saw could have crashed here? Because the way you described it, it sounded very large.
It was pretty big.
And
Yep.
is there that much?
The whole that big sky thing,
Mhm.
it's not that. Basically, it's almost like you saw a shooting star,
Yeah, something
or like a
ejected from
maybe
it.
like the size of a helicopter
Right.
that was
Okay.
not lit internally as much as like maybe had some lights on it and was shiny that raced over your heads.
Okay.
And
So this isn't the crash site of that big thing.
no, that
Okay.
big if that thing had crashed, it would have taken out Pittsfield and
Yeah.
and most of the town. Like it was beyond big. So you've come into a clearing. The three of you stand there. The dog is actually stopped at the edge as well.
I say, is anyone hurt?
Yeah, I look. Are there any people here?
No,
All right, I want to rush
I
it's
mean,
off.
like a
we're
crackle,
people
a
and we're
crackle
here,
of fire
But, people beyond us.
and light.
I'm like kicking over pieces of metal looking for people.
Yeah, there's no people.
And I think I'm rushing after these drag marks or whatever these are towards the
I figure
motor.
Hobo's going after that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Hobo's probably dancing around,
Cool.
barking, and
So you guys rush past it and on.
yeah.
You catch some taillights, like there's a service road, and that's about as far. Like you can't quite catch it as it rounds the bend and is gone.
Okay.
These taillights, just red taillights of doesn't look like a big, it might be like a pickup. You
Pickup.
can't really tell
Yep.
what it was. It was dark in the light.
It is dark. Yeah.
So you guys are in the crater and you return, but what are you doing? What are you doing in this crater or in this?
I mean,
crash site?
I'm like looking. I'm saying hello and looking to see, making sure nobody's hurt.
No, silence.
So there's like debris, like
Mm-hmm. Like this mostly metallic from what you can see.
yeah,
and
that's what I
tubes.
would be examining. And
Yeah,
like,
do you want to try to comprehend what this stuff is?
yeah, is that
Either I'll give you some info or we can like come up with something. It's not gonna be you're not gonna get bad news, but you might get some additional information.
Oh, you got two.
2 successes.
So-
So you look at this stuff and you actually recognize some of the metals in there. There's like some, not like, you're a metallurgist or something, but you know that this is pretty light, strong stuff. It's not crumbling in your hand. It's probably not aluminum. So you conjecture that it might be maybe like a titanium, some sort of like
Whoa.
expensive metal alloy. And you can only think that if that whole ship, that whole thing was made of titanium, and that whatever this thing was, one, it's not going to be very heavy, but it's very strong, and that's a lot of material, and it's very expensive. And
Do your eyes turn into tiny little dollar signs?
let's see. You also like there's writing on it. It's not even in a script. Like it's not Cyrillic. You've seen like that in like Russian propaganda videos. It's not English. You could be a computer language. You don't know what this language is.
I come walking up. I'm like, there's nobody here. You figure anything out, big brain?
But somebody was here, man. There was a pickup truck getting out of here real quick. Like they picked something up in the pickup.
they certainly had the correct truck for the job.
So wait, there's a road, a dirt path?
Yeah, there's a service road, man.
You figure anything out?
Service road probably leads on down to the records repository.
Not anything useful. Like there's writing on the parts, but I can't understand it. I can recognize some of the metals, but it doesn't tell me a whole that much.
Should we grab our bikes and go down that trail?
Yeah. What is this, space metal?
Some of it I don't recognize, but most of it I believe is titanium.
Wait. You're saying this came from
Titanium?
space?
I don't know. It seemed like it came from space, right?
What? Like it could have just been a helicopter.
Well, he said it was like It's special metals.
Well, I mean, more importantly, I just don't know what this language is on the side of this.
All right, well, let me see it. Maybe I know it.
That doesn't look like any language I've ever seen.
That's what I'm saying.
I take a look at the language. I take a look at the writing.
All right.
Fair point.
It's I mean it's not even Greek to
Yeah.
you. It's unknown to you.
I don't know. That looks like just some scratches. Maybe that was
It's almost like kind of too like pictographic in some parts.
I mean, what
but
you
still-
recognize as a language you don't understand, I recognize it as like a collection of like lines, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're like scratches that were made,
Mhm.
made by accident.
So, do you guys want to? What do you want to do? Do you want to continue on? Do you want to? I mean, you're in a clearing with a bunch of weird metal all around.
We have our bikes. If we have our bikes, yeah, let's follow the truck maybe and see where it went.
Somebody might be hurt, and if they're hurt, they might be in that truck. So we should go find out what's going on.
That's a good point.
You guys are pretty intent. You're trying to figure out what's going on. How much attention are you paying to your surroundings?
I think I'm arguing with him right now.
And what are you doing, Ollie?
Well, you're saying someone might be hurt,
Yeah,
which
so
is definitely resonating.
and I've been
with
like
me.
kicking over shit, making sure there's nothing like no chunk of wreckage large enough that a person could be trapped under. But other than that, I'm not paying that much
Well,
attention.
why don't you roll an investigate roll for me?
Oh, okay, well, I'm
yeah,
kicking
while you
stuff
kick stuff
over.
over.
Okay.
And I don't even think surreptitiously, like very obviously grabbing pieces of titanium and putting them in my backpack.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I mean, Ollie says this is titanium. I'm into
Success,
Okay.
my friend.
So you're kicking stuff over, and something catches your eye. It's like a glass tablet,
it. Oh,
like a glass square, and when you like flip the thing over, it lights up.
hey,
did you find somebody?
no, there's, I don't know. It's giving me a headache. Some kind of technology?
What is it? Paint?
No, it's a piece of glass that
Piece of glass.
I think you guys got to see this.
All right.
Come on, Ollie. Let's take a look.
All right, so you guys huddle around this thing.
Yeah.
So what you see in front of you is a.
And while you're huddling over it, I'm behind you saying, "What is it?"
So you see this. You're holding this semi-translucent pane of glass with like a thin metal edge, and what is almost like a translucent metal on the back. Like you can kind of see through it, like through the light. But there's also a light coming out of the glass part itself. There's like little TI symbol just in black on this thing where no light is coming from. Like you can only think of it. That's all.
When you say the TI symbol, does it look like a company logo,
Like a
with
logo.
a T and an I?
Mhm.
Okay.
So that's what you have in your hands right now.
Ollie has it.
Ollie has
In case somebody gets radiation poisoning from the glass.
TI. Is that the Trans Industries?
It said Transstellar Industries.
Oh, is that what it said?
I think so, right?
That means stars, right?
Yeah, it means across the stars.
Across the stars. I knew it was a spaceship. I knew it, and I got some of it here in my backpack.
How did the glass light up? It's not connected to anything.
I don't know.
I put my finger on the TI symbol and just touch it.
All right. The whole thing pulses and it awakens with more light.
Oh,
And you
You
see
go, whoa!
more of like dancing across the screen, like a ticker of those letters along the
Oh.
bottom, and like a body just like rotating.
a humanoid form?
Yeah, just a human looking, just like a model, like it's almost like a 3D movie in this glass rotating, and lines kind of off to the side of it, like just different lines of different colors, just kind of arcing along.
Loudly and into the glass, I say, English, please.
Didn't work.
I don't know. Space things work like that sometimes, I guess.
Like you guys are, what are you doing with this thing?
Maybe this is...
I'm not touching it.
All right.
I'm letting Ollie touch it.
Are you focused on it?
Mm.
No?
I'd say I'm a mix of looking over Ollie's shoulder at it and also looking around to make sure that nobody is seeing us.
All right.
I'm shoulder to shoulder with Ollie. I'm very interested in working on it with him or messing with it.
And Ollie, what are you doing?
I briefly considered like getting out my multi-tool and messing with it, but I was like, I don't know. I don't understand this thing. I can't. If I mess with it, I may just break it.
Hobo's marking his territory.
So is it almost like a tablet?
Yeah. I mean, if to use it, it's almost like a flat, portable, see-through TV.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you guys have this thing. Your dog comes closer to you and whimpers a little bit.
Oh.
hobo, and the tablet starts to frost over. And you guys notice that your breath is becoming pretty cool. Like you can see your breath. It hasn't been that cold this night.
Yeah, it hasn't been that cold yet. Hobo
Is
draws my attention.
Hobo doing it?
Hobo draws my attention a little bit away. But I'm petting him. I want to get this thing to do something. I have Tinker as a skill.
Try touching it a bunch.
Yeah, right? That's basically what I'm going to do. I mean, Ollie's holding it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
what should we do?
So you touch it.
Yeah, I mean, that's my plan is to just keep messing with it.
Yeah, so it's actually starting to like frost is forming on it, and kind of on you guys. If you look around, there's frost forming
Whoa.
all over this area.
Oh, man, it's going to snow soon, finally.
Ideally, it'll snow soon for my family's
For
financial
all of our
future.
sakes. For all of our sakes.
And also the lights, like the whatever cold is, like the fires are starting to die from whatever impact was going on, and the light is now just from this tablet that you can see.
What about the moon?
You guys are in pretty heavy tree cover right now. too.
Okay.
Is there any way of knowing whether this cold is just localized to where we are?
I think you'd have to like get out of the area to figure
Yeah.
that out, kind of thing. But it's come on fast. It's not normal even for you guys. You kind of know that it was warm. It was pretty warm, and you guys are now a little underdressed.
So, what I would say is, guys, it's getting cold out here. Why don't we take that thing back to the hideout and try and spend some time with it and figure it out?
Okay, yeah, maybe back to the hideout.
And I'm going to use my lead skill. Can I use my lead
Sure.
skill?
Yeah. To
Okay.
get everyone in one direction.
I totally succeed.
All right. So you turn to go back to your base and you see, or to your hideout, and in the trees, you see like a glowing something.
And how is Hobo reacting to a glowing
Hobo's
something?
hiding behind you.
Oh, shit.
Hobo's hiding.
And it kind of, what was a little more intense, ducks behind trees. You still see a glow on trees further back, but it's clear that whatever is out there is obscured right now.
As soon as we see something that's potentially dangerous, I step in front of Ollie.
How do you deal with that, Ollie?
Well, he's got our thing.
Oh, yeah.
I say, hey, I want to see.
I mean, I'm blocking him. I'm not trying to block his view. Do you climb up and look over my shoulder?
Get in his pocket.
I peek around you.
Does it look like someone has a flashlight, or does it look like someone like it's a ghost, like someone's like form has
It seem-
light coming out?
Yeah,
of
you're
it?
not sure. It's like a blue white light that's illuminating. It's almost like someone has a cold like torch, like a lamp or something back there.
Who's out there? Are
Hello?
you okay?
You're buffeted with cold wind.
Are we bowled over by this wind, or is it more just like
No, it's bracing though.
It's bracing, yeah.
And it comes in like pulses and then subsides, but it's still pretty cold. And you see frost is forming.
And
on the
there's
trees
still
around
like
you.
a glowing light behind the trees.
Yeah.
I have to approach it. Yeah,
Come on out.
Yeah,
We're-
if it's not coming
we
out,
don't mean any harm.
I'm gonna go for it.
So you guys advance on this.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Ollie,
yeah.
what are you doing? Are you going for this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm staying behind them, but I'm
All
with
right.
it.
So you come around this tree, the bole of this tree, and
I grab a stick as we move forward.
how threatening, how big are you guys making yourselves as you come around the tree?
Not threatening.
Yeah, I'm more scared than trying to be threatening.
How's Hobo reacting? As he still wants to be with you.
Yeah, I think Hobo is like with Ollie and sort of like putting his muzzle into like Ollie's hand, sort of like he's like I don't think Hobo really wants to be here, but he doesn't want to be by himself. So he's with Ollie and sort of in the back and more like nuzzling his sort of like thigh and like, just like trying to whatever be there.
So you come around the tree, and for an instant, you catch the figure of a young girl
Okay.
in a white gown, very simple, plain gown. It seems like she has maybe no hair that you can see. And as quick as you catch her, like as you see her, spy her, she blinks out and leaving like a flurry of snowflakes and cold air that kind of blast you back slightly.
I say, Ghost Girl.
And she like goes into the sky
She's
or just disappears?
just kind of like folds up and is gone.
As she disappears, she goes, let it go.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Oh my God, man, it's a ghost.
Now that girl.
You believe in ghosts now?
You don't believe in ghosts?
Of course not.
What?
Okay, I do believe in ghosts. Let's get back to the hideout. Wait,
Oh man,
she's not. There's no light around anymore. She's
No,
gone.
you just have the
Okay.
tablet is the light that you have.
Okay.
Is the
Let's
the-
get back and explore this thing.
All right.
Yeah, let's get out of here, man.
All right,
That's what we do.
off you go.
I have
Back to the hideout.
some titanium in my backpack.
Let's skip ahead. What would you guys set the scene for me? Where would you guys go next to get more information on this thing?
I think our first inclination is to go back to the hideout and like fuck around with it
Yeah,
for a while.
exactly.
I think that'll kind of dictate where we go next, whether
Sure.
it's like to the local library or to like none of our parents work at Lenox. What is it, Lenox Labs?
Yeah.
No.
But I have a feeling I might know somebody who either works there or knows somebody who works
And
there.
there's the Federal Records Repository
Federal
as
Archives,
well,
yep.
which might have some information.
But it would be one of those things.
Our
And
school library.
I think it's too late for us to going down a bicycle path, going down that track. But the next day we have free, I have a feeling we're going to do that. But I think the first thing is trying to figure that out.
So you guys are in the hideout fiddling with this thing.
Yep.
Yep.
What are you doing with
So
this thing?
the arch is here. The
I'm a-
arch
Arch
is
is
set
there.
up.
Yep.
We have the tablet, and it's sort of in your hands, Ollie. And I think probably Chad and I are just like yelling things at you, like do
Yeah.
this, do that, do this, do that. But you're
And I'm
obviously
assuming it's a
doing-
lot of like, I don't know, like tapping the screen. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Lot
I'm
of-
doing a lot of
lot of
tapping the
etch a
screen.
sketch shaking.
I'm doing
Oh yeah,
All right.
son.
Okay.
What?
Three
Three
successes.
successes.
You get to ask a couple questions.
Nice.
You probably want to ask what its purpose is.
yeah.
You start to puzzle out that this is, some sort of monitor. That it's showing that these lines are different vital signs, that this is some sort of like corollary maybe for like heart rate, and there might be something for oxygen, but the heart rate's very slow. It's like not what you would consider like a normal heart rate. And yeah, so it's some sort of monitoring device.
Who built it?
Yeah, who built it?
Based on your other knowledge of seeing this like writing, you can only assume that it's the same technology as whoever built that thing you saw in the sky and whoever controlled the debris that was all around. So someone not local.
Oh wow, the mysteries of the universe have been revealed.
Solved.
Someone not local.
And you get one more, I think.
How can I use it?
You've already puzzled that there are touch controls.
Huh?
And you start to play with the controls a little bit and note that it's almost in like a hold setting, like it's holding on a pattern, and that you could live update it if you wanted to show a more recent pattern. That's
So what's
what you
going
know.
on?
It's appears to be some sort of health monitor or like a heart monitor or like a vitals monitor for something.
For that ghost girl we saw?
If she's a ghost, she doesn't need a monitor. She's a ghost.
Maybe there's some sort of ghost vital signs.
What do you think, Big Brain? Is there such thing as ghost vital signs?
I think that after you're dead, you pretty much have to you can stop worrying about going to the doctor and getting your checkups.
But in Ghostbusters, I mean, there was tons of stuff that you could read about ghosts.
But Ghostbusters isn't real.
What?
This is something real. At least we experience. You got a bag full of star metal.
That's right. Let me get that out. And I start busting it out. We could use this to fortify the hideout or
What
or
time
make
is it?
something.
It's
I checked
now-
my swatch.
Yeah,
What time
it's
is
like
it?
it's getting close to dinner. It's like 7:30 now.
7:30 is not that late.
For
But
kids
I'm,
in
but I'm
middle
a grown
school.
Up. It is late. Say, guys, I gotta get home.
Oh, man. Yeah, my dad's going to be upset if I'm late. I got to take a shower tonight.
Yeah, and I also have people who
You
care
say
about
that
me.
every night. You got a what?
I said, and I also have people who care about me.
Do you want to come to dinner at my place? I think we're gonna get a pizza.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a reason why not to, but then I thought,
But your
why?
mom works tonight, so you should come have a pizza.
Yeah.
So off you guys go.
Okay.
Into
Yeah,
the
we
night.
got to head home. Are we leaving the tablet here or are we taking it with us?
That is a very good question. I think we should show it to somebody.
You gonna bring it with you home?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily think you guys would agree with me, but maybe you do. We should show it to our science teacher,
Mrs. Francis.
Mrs. Francis. Mrs. Francis might know what to do with it.
What if we showed it to Mrs. Faltine? I mean, she's a robot.
That I'm not even good at science, and I know that's a crazy thing to say. That's like saying somebody who goes through cancer treatment knows all about medicine.
I could ask Miss Crandall. I
Uh,
don't know.
Librarian?
I mean,
That's my
she
qu-
might know something.
Yeah.
That's my answer for everything, though.
Okay. So you wanna take it home and then we'll show it to Crandall tomorrow?
Sure. I think it's better to take it home and like not.
So
That's
at
gonna
this
be a
point,
little
I
more
think you
safe.
guys kind of we
All right.
fade as you
Okay.
guys continue on down the hill, talking
Okay.
about how you're taking it to school tomorrow and to be determined
Okay.
who you're going to show it to.
Okay.
Cut to school the next day. Set the scene for me. Whose room are you in? Is this the science teacher's lab? Is this the library? Is this you guys cornering Miss Faltine before homeroom? Where are we at?
If you think Mrs. Crandall would be the right person to show it to, I trust you.
Yeah, you are the smartest one here, so I trust you as well.
I could be blinded by my own trust for Ms. Crandall.
That's true.
But we don't necessarily judge you for your mother figure. in
and I'm
Mrs.
into it
Crandall.
because I want to like ask her about my buddy, the janitor Anders, because they used to hang out, but they don't hang out anymore, and Anders is all upset about
All right.
it.
That's the weird thing is that the janitor, I don't think the janitor likes me, which means he's the only member of faculty who doesn't like me.
like you.
So we are in the library.
Mm-hmm. You guys are in the library. You walk past the Herberg Huskies posters and into the library, blue and white Herberg Huskies.
Nice.
Sure,
Go
okay.
Huskies. You go into the library, and this is lunchtime. So you have foregone lunch in your excitement to go see her. And
Somebody will hold. I have a connection.
yeah, you
The
guys.
lunch
you guys will be
lady
good.
holds on to a square of pizza for me.
Mm.
It's meatball sub day, so
Whoa,
Yeah.
dude, and I'm giving up lunch?
no big
We
excitement.
We better figure something out.
So you go.
Punishment doesn't fit the crime in this case.
You approach her library desk. It's pretty quiet in there. It's a library.
Mhm.
What do
Can
guys
you
think?
describe Mrs. Crandall and/or our relationships with Mrs. Crandall?
So Mrs. Crandall is a woman in her early 30s.
Okay.
She keeps it pretty simple. She has short cropped hair. She doesn't wear glasses. She's just kind of dresses simply. She's a school teacher. She can't like go crazy. Floral print dress. She's quiet. She is not overly strict
Okay.
with how she handles her library.
I know exactly how I will approach this situation. I drop my sunglasses, I put my elbows on her table, and I say, "Tuna fish on rye. That looks delicious, Mrs. Crandall."
You never cease to amuse.
Hey, thanks. That's my job. So, my buddy Ollie had a couple of questions for you.
We're not bothering you, are we, Miss Cray?
Ollie, how you doing?
Hi, Miss Crandall. Sorry about Chad. He means well.
Rush, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Miss Kay. Thanks.
How's your father?
He's doing good.
All right.
While you're talking, I've walked over to the light switch in the library, and I go, "Hey, Ollie, are you ready?"
Sure.
But have you pulled the thing out?
Yeah,
of
you're
your
still
bag?
fumbling with
I'm
your
still fumbling with
your-
it as you turn the light off.
trying to get your zipper.
I
of
turn the light
your
off.
JanSport
Well,
open.
We got something to tell you, Miss Kay.
You pull out your trapper keeper first. Damn it! No, that's not it.
Yeah.
it's got a bunch of pictures of Mrs. Crandall drawn in it.
Yeah, with Ollie Crandall written next to it.
That's insane. Do you want her to be your mom?
I love it. No, he's just very progressive. He's gonna take her name.
I guess that's. I mean, very progressive is. It's problematic. I hit the lights, and you pull out I would hope to be glowing tablet.
she's very patient with the time it takes to get this tablet out. And says, "Guys, come on. We don't.
No,
Nope.
Miss Kay. You got to see this.
Is this a game that you guys are playing?"
Miss Crandall, have you ever seen anything like this?
So you plunk this thing down in front of her, and she examines it. She looks at it. She does. Is it turned on? Have you guys tapped
And
it?
I show her like what I've figured out about it.
I'm kind of bouncing around, giving Ollie advice on how to show her how to use it.
I think Rush is paying really close attention to Mrs. Crandall. Try and figure out Librarian Crandall. See
Where
What's
did you
her-
guys find this?
what her vibe is.
Someplace nearby.
We found it on the mountain, Mrs. K.
Okay. I
What
guess
is
we're
this? Does this belong to someone?
just saying what we say?
Well, I mean, law of law of
No, we
finders
just we
keepers,
found
right?
it on the ground, and we found it on the ground.
Was there a tag? Does it belong to someone?
Look, I mean, look at the symbol. It says TI. It means Transstellar Industries, right?
Yeah.
Transstellar Industries. Boys, what are you even talking about?
You were telling me about it, Ollie. Transstellar Industries means between space.
Yeah, we
But
saw
how do
it.
you? I mean, this is just a T and an I. How do you know that that means that?
Because it was on the spaceship last night.
Okay.
Thank you. You've removed my curse of telling everybody everything.
Boys, I don't know where you got this gadget from or what you're playing at.
I told you we found it in the forest.
Okay, sure. I don't know where you made this or what. It's very neat. I like the lights that it does, but I don't know. Have you shown her anything else on it?
I mean, I think that I would show her like what you said about how I could use it, but obviously I don't fully understand what I'm doing.
So you open it up to this thing and
I'm assuming you do literally everything you know it can do.
yeah, so she's pretty perplexed. She doesn't know.
No, look at this right here. That's someone's heart rate, maybe.
And you say you can up. It hasn't changed since you found it. Have you tried what you're saying? What about updating it?
Well, no, we wanted to show it to you first.
I didn't want to mess with anything I didn't understand.
I mean, you guys made it. I don't know. It's your toy.
We made it?
I can't. Well, unless you stole it, who did you take
We
it from?
made it? I walk around holding my head.
We didn't
Mrs.
steal from
K.
nobody. It just crash landed on the mountain and we picked it up.
Ollie, are you reading them your stories again? The sci-fi stories you showed me?
Yeah, that must be it. Come on, guys. We should go.
Oh, yeah, it's hilarious stories. I'm sorry. And I try and bundle it up out of her hands.
No, we found it. It was an alien spaceship and it crash landed on the mountain and there was a truck that was driving away from it and there was titanium on the ground.
Hand on the mouth. I put a hand on your mouth. I
I'm
say,
gonna.
oh, wow, you've been watching too many of those late night picture shows.
So who wants to try to charm her into giving up this tablet? back?
I am the charmingest dude, as I've evidenced by my performance so far.
Yeah, if you fail this, you have the chance of becoming upset. We'll see.
I
We'll
always
figure
have
out
the
how
chance
this
of being
goes.
upset.
Ooh.
Oh, but I don't. I succeed
You
with a bonus.
succeed. You're able to charm you. She continues. She believes you. She thinks you guys are. She kind of in her head thinks you guys made this thing and that it's a toy. But what?
Can I take the bonus effect that she'll take risks to help us?
Yeah.
Okay.
She thinks that you guys are real smart and says, "Hey, you guys need to hold on to this. Science fair is coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
This would look great going into high school if you guys could get this project off the ground. And it's real cool tech. They're always looking for internships at the lab. You gotta keep
Exactly.
keep in
With
touch.
Ollie's brains and Rush's tech know-how, they got a shoe in when they have
And-
this weird piece of glass that shows stuff on it.
But only if we have you as the hype man.
And just let if you run into any trouble, I'm afraid this is going to get broken. You guys need to either leave it with me and you can pick it up after school, or just let me know if anyone, keep it out of sight, but let me know if anyone messes with it, okay?
We'll keep it out of sight, Pam. Mrs. K, you know me. I do whatever I'm told.
All right.
I stuff it in your hands. I'm like, let's get out of here.
Huh? Yeah.
So off you guys go.
We leave.
Hightail it.
So before you go, so what, Mrs.
the most
K,
lackadaisical, let's hightail it.
so Mrs. K though, she always gives you a treat
Oh.
before, like that's sort of one of your rituals. What's that treat that she gives you, like sort of the end of every evening in the library?
Russian Chad are standing at the doorway like, Ollie, come on, pick your treat.
This is not the most exciting treat, but it's what's coming to mind, so I'm going to go with it. She has those strawberry candies,
Nice. Yeah.
the ones that are like soft in the middle.
Like grandma
Wait,
candies.
Grandma candies.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like little wrapped strawberries with a,
Yeah,
with
they're
a
like
gel
the
center.
wrapper looks like a strawberry.
The scene ends as we run out, and I go, my grandma has those.
Yeah. And you go to pop it in your mouth, and it is frozen solid.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
What?
That's the scene. Where do you guys go next with your tablet? What would be an
Well,
inciting scene?
fucking
for you?
Out of
Genius
my-
bar.
I'm out of ideas. So
Well, I suggested we go to the science teacher.
Yeah, we could do that.
Do you want to go to your buddy, the janitor?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think Anders might know something about this. Who knows? He knows a lot of things.
Right.
Mrs. F. Mrs. F.
And I'm grumbling. I'm like, man, Anders will be tell us about this. We don't go to Miss F. Shit.
Mrs. F, this is your free period.
Hey, boys. That's how Mrs. F talks.
Yep.
Yep.
How's it going?
I
She has a
say-
speech box here.
Oh,
that
nice.
adds like a little like vibration to her voice.
I turn around, I go to Rush, I go, lock the door.
I'm like, and I sort of, I let them sort of go ahead, and I stay in the back so that
She's
Mrs.
putting
F.
away Bunsen burners.
Mrs.
Filling a
F,
box with-
you're going to want to hold on to your hat.
or your Bunsen burner as I lock the door.
All right, this is another one of your games, I suppose.
That's fair. Ollie, show her. What are you doing, Slowpoke?
All right, I'm less excited about this after we had our misadventure with Ms. Crandall. But
Who's probably dialing the fucking FBI right now?
yeah, but I pull out
The
the
fucking BPRD is about to come after us.
I pull out the tablet.
Mrs. F, you have to see this.
She takes it from you and taps it on pretty quickly and like scrolls through some of the stuff and is like, this is pretty advanced. So it's like a keyboard without buttons.
That's what you were telling us, Ollie.
Yep, that was what I was telling you.
How long have you guys had this toy? Is this a new, what is this, like a new board game thing?
I mean, it'd be a video game, if anything.
I've confiscated plenty of your tiger toys, Chad. Your electronic football is still in detention as far as I'm concerned.
Oh man, you never seen something like this before, Miss Frank?
No, I feel like we should just. Where did you get this? What is this thing?
We found it on the mountain.
On the mountain? What would it be doing there?
It was at a crash site.
Oh no! Is it? Have you brought it to the? It could be part of the scientists. Maybe something fell off of a plane or a mag lift at the airfield. Have you guys? You know what? I have a friend who works at the airfield. I'll give her a call and I'll take this and see if it was theirs.
No, pretty sure it's not theirs, Miss Francis.
Mrs. F, you got a lot of stuff to do.
I think someone's gonna have to empathize with her to get her off of her track. She's already like kind of fiddling with the thing, like turning it on and off, being like, "This
So
thing
she's
is
addicted
ridiculous."
to it. We need one of us to empathize with her.
I have no empathize skill at all.
I have it, but I'm sure Chad is better than I am.
I'm slightly better at empathize than you.
It's gonna be she is not taking a shine to Chad right
Yeah, I think it's gonna
What?
be me.
now. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be
So
me.
you're declaring that we are in an alternate reality where people don't like Chad.
Oh, they
Okay.
do. It's just
Mrs. F doesn't like Chad.
you're coming on strong to Mrs. F right now.
I come on strong to everybody. That's what they like about me.
Yeah, they love it.
All right, here we go. I have 1 empathy and 2 mind
Okay.
Sure.
with 3.
Success.
That is a success,
Boom.
motherfuckers.
What
like-
you get to ask a question.
I'm like, all right, how can I make her give us this thing back?
She is very interested in you getting a better grade in science. She takes
Got
a
it.
shine to you,
Got it.
and she thinks you half-ass it.
Yes, that's
And
true.
you know, if you show any modicum of like, this is a real science project of mine or something like that,
Yeah, I got you.
that she'll
Yeah.
she'll take the bait.
I say, well, we need it back so we can continue our experiments, Miss F. We need to, we got it working, but you know, you got us. It's we want to surprise you with it.
This is advanced. This is no.
Well, it's Ollie and me and also Chad. We all
This is
did it
definitely
together.
a step up from how do eggs
Also,
float.
Chad.
And also Chad.
So you found it on a mountain, or what are you telling me?
We made it on the mountain because don't tell anybody, but that's where our secret lab is.
You what?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
tell them where the hideout is.
No, not telling her where the hideout
I've
is.
spit my yoo-hoo
Yeah,
all over the fucking table.
All right. Well, this is it's a good start, but what does it do? Can you
It's supposed to track the heart rate of my dog Hobo.
This is on a person setting. Let me see if I can
weird.
get to a dog setting. She's starting to play with it, and you know she's about to hit the update stuff. What do you want to do?
I don't know whether we want to have
This
her
is such an asshole.
changing
Don't
the
change it to
settings.
dog setting.
I'm like, I try and make up a thing. I'm just like, no, we're looking at how a person's vitals differ from a dog's vitals, so don't change that, please.
Okay, I mean there are a few different people settings here. Do you want me to set it to? I get there's a few. I can't really understand. The language is still kind of gobbledygook. You guys need to work on that.
It's like a lorem ipsum situation. We're gonna put in real words later on. It's a work in progress. We should probably just
Well,
take it back.
show me how it works. Change it to another person for me.
I am looking at you and I'm like making the face like, grab that shit. out
Grab
of her
that shit and
hands."
let's run. So she's talking with Ollie.
We have done this bit before where I've given you the face of like, you grab something, let's run.
The tough part is I locked the door. So the door is locked right now on us. So,
True.
I'm like, okay, I'm like looking at you, and I'm seeing what's happening here. Well, here, give it back to me. I'll just show you how it works real quick. We could
So
change
you're
it.
going to try and snatch it,
Yeah.
and I'm going to try and talk to her. I'm
Okay.
going to
Go
use
back.
all of my charm that has been working so
We'll show you how it works.
And I think you guys you've all rolled and you've attempted stuff already. She's already weakened a bit
Sure.
to your charms.
Yep.
Between your distraction and you kind of like gently, strongly not pulling it away from her, showing her something, but not really doing anything with it, you kind of get it out of her hands and she's distracted. And she's on to their next one. She starts putting Bunsen burners back in the boxes and says, well, I guess if you just keep me up to date with your project, you know, I'd love to see where it goes next.
We'll work on it some more, Miss Francis.
All right. And are you're just carrying it in? How are you? I mean, are you being gentle with this thing? I don't want you to break your toy before you can finish it.
Yeah, we've got everything.
Yeah, it's in a book bag full of books. It's cool.
We're keeping it easy.
Oh my God! At least here, she takes a box off the shelf and like starts. She has like a local paper she shoves in there and kind of rolls it up in it.
Got
and
some wood shavings.
hands you the box, like a little like cardboard box now that you have this thing, and you can fit it back in your bag, but it's at least in newspaper in a box.
All right. Cool.
And she says, "Where are you supposed to be?"
We got a free period.
English class.
Free period.
I got home ec. I'm terrible at it.
All right, where do you guys want to go next?
Tablet, the bad guy?
My dad's a bad guy.
Obviously. That's every 80s movie I've ever seen.
Speaking of your dad,
Uh-oh.
he picked you up from school. You guys come out.
Okay.
You guys are kind of together. You've been like putting your heads together. You're planning on walking out together, but your dad's there outside school end of day, ready to pick you up.
Okay. I say, Ollie, I know we were gonna do pizza tonight, but I think I don't know. I gotta go with my dad.
Okay.
Yes.
In my heart, I'm like, Ollie doesn't seem to care about pizza.
And I look at Ollie and I say, man, his dad never shows up to pick him up. That's weird.
Your dad actually, like, as you get in the car, Chad,
Uh-huh.
he kind of hollers over and says, "Hey, we'll probably be at the lodge tonight. If you guys want to come by, at the Dawson Lodge there."
I look at you guys. I go, please.
Thanks, Mr. Dawson. Would love to come.
And then I do a little fist pump, like, yes.
Gotta ask my dad.
I shake my head. There's a lot of peanut butter. I've been taking improv classes.
Mood changes.
Do your friends need a ride, champ?
I like slap my hands on the car door. I go, let me check. I go, hey guys, do you mind? Do you guys need a ride? I'm nodding my head. I'm sorry.
Mhm. Chad's nodding. He said yes.
She's saying, wait, I don't
Are
understand.
you definitely sure you guys need a ride? I'm nodding my head.
It was his nodding, meaning that we should say yes, that we need a ride.
I'm
I
not
don't really
sure.
understand.
I think so.
I say, do you guys maybe need a ride? Is no one going to pick you up? And I fall down on my knees and I start praying.
Yeah. No, I could use a ride.
Yeah, me too, Mr. Dawson.
Shotgun.
All right.
All right,
Gotcha,
kids, get
guys.
in. Let's do this thing. So you hop in the car
Mm-hmm.
and
You got to
Ben-
touch
was
the
it
car
Bennett-
first. Whoever touches
Bennett
the car gets
Dawson?
shotgun.
I touched the car first. I'm standing right there.
Gang, you can't change shotgun when we're already moving. You said so.
Bennett Dawson.
Bennett
yeah.
Dawson is driving. You guys are sitting in the back seat. He's like, "Well, listen, buddy. Me and your mom have an important night tonight.
Oh,
We're-
cool.
We're doing it's our anniversary.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I need you to help me out. Remember what I said about business and phone calls and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, and he's driving on, and he actually drives past your neighborhood. Hobo's there at the front of the
right.
neighborhood,
Oh,
like
I'd like to look
tail
past.
wagging,
What?
like, and he drives on past the neighborhood and says, "Sorry to spring it on you. And I'll pay. Actually, you know what? I'll pay all you guys a little bit. I need you to help me out and watch the desk tonight at the lodge while me and your mom go on our date. And I have a business associate coming by, and I need you to give her a letter for me. She's supposed to drop something off.
How much are we
We'll
going to
ta-
get
we'll-
paid, Mr. Dawson? Sounds great.
Enough to eat plenty of pizza till your belly's burst."
I look at Ollie knowing that he's a demon for pizza. I guess we can do that. What's in the letter? Is it a contract?
Oh, no. Listen, it's important paperwork. It's private business stuff. So I need you to, just hand her this letter for me when she shows. Private business stuff, and everything should be fine. All right, little man? How would Chad get out of this deal? Or how would his friends help him get out of this deal?
Because, yeah, I think the big thing is I'm trying to look to you guys to help. So
Yeah, your
I
charm is
would,
kinda
I guess
stripped
I'd
away.
try and be charming you guys and be like, try and see some kind of whatever goofy bullshit we usually pull with other adults. I'm trying to find some kind of connection of humanity there.
All right. So let's go with I'd say either a lead or a charm at that point, right?
Yeah, I guess I'll try and lead because I think lead might make more sense than I'm
Okay.
trying to.
You're trying to
But
lead.
I'm trying to convince you guys to like go along with. I'd fail, so I'm going to check a condition.
Yeah. So you try to get your friends. How does that play out? That you try to get your friends to like step up and give you an out.
I'm like, but you guys had stuff you needed to do tonight,
Yeah,
right?
man. We got the science project we got to work on. And Mr. Dawson, you seen our science project?
Chad,
I'm gonna mark upset by the way.
listen. I need you to be responsible here. This is really important for me. I don't need you getting out of this situation. I need you to be responsible.
I say, Dad, I got a lot of homework to do. I say, Dad, we got a lot of homework to do.
Look, the lodge has been super quiet. You guys can just hang there, eat pizza, do your homework, or fucking, no, he wouldn't say that. Or
He's like, fucking do whatever, dickweeds.
or just screw around and eat some ice cream that's left in the kitchen.
Like, oh, ice cream. Yeah. Go order a pizza and ice cream.
You're so driven by your id, Rush.
What does id mean, Ollie?
Tell you later.
In a few years, it's a video game company.
You-
So I'm upset.
You're upset. Your dad kind of notices this and backs off a little bit, I think, right? Like, so he's like, okay, look. You guys cover the desk for me. I got another way I can get this letter passed off, buddy. I'm sorry. I just have a lot of balls in the air. Sorry, I got short with you.
I got a lot of stuff to do tonight, Dad.
Yeah, you know what? Just do me a solid. Watch the desk. Don't worry about the letter or any of that
Well,
stuff.
I'll help you with the letter.
No, man, that's Listen, Rush, that's all right. That's okay.
That's when Rush becomes Spuds.
I think I've got a way. I'll get it figured. I'll make a phone call when we get to the desk there. But again, I'll order you guys pizza. You'll have the run of the place. All right. Just make sure if a guest comes up, you give them their key or something. All right. That's all I'm gonna ask you.
Okay, Dad. I guess we can do that, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right.
We'll
Yeah, right.
work on our homework and eat some pizza and some
All
ice
right.
cream.
Yeah.
Play music, put on the radio.
Yeah, and I rented
We
a
can
couple.
listen to Smoopy.
I rented a couple
Whoopee.
videos too.
Oh, yeah, cassette tapes.
All right.
VHS.
He pulls up in front of the lodge and goes in, and we
Mhm.
cut scene.
Okay.
We interrupt our story here, and we'll resume in our next communique. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho and on Instagram at board_ghost. And you can find my media review podcast at New to You Show. And you can find my book club podcast at woundandstab.com. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me, Ken Breeze, at Burlingsbeard, BERLNGS, on Twitter and Instagram. Also, my website. I'm a concierge DM in New York City area. Hire me to run your games.
All right. And Dan, where can people find you?
On Twitter, you can find me at Dan K. McCoy. That's impossible to read as anything other than Dank McCoy. And you can listen to the podcast that I'm on with Stuart, The Flophouse, at flophousepodcast.com.
All right. And
Hey, I'm Stuart Wellington. You can find me at FlopHouseCat on Twitter. You can hear me on the Flophouse Podcast, a comedy show about movies. You can also hear me on Till Deaf Do Us Party, a podcast about the band Def Leppard. And you can find me behind the bar at Hinterlands Bar in Brooklyn, New York. Come down for a drink.
Great
All
bar.
right.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, gang, for playing with us. Tales from the Loop, first time through. To learn more about the players and engine in our story, please visit boardghost.com. We'll have links to everyone's stuff there, and including any of shows that are up and coming for the Flophouse.
Sure.
And you can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at BoardGhostWorld on Twitter. Shout out through the E3. I have desires we can fulfill. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal, and take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you are not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
I don't agree